It started with a question. Who do I want to be? The answer isn't as simple as you may think. I want to be more. No, I need to be. So listen. Pay attention. And focus.
And good afternoon, and welcome to the David Robinson Real Talk, Real People, Real Conversations. And tonight's topic is dealing with communications and being able to be effective communicators with children, allowing children to have a voice. And I have a special guest on my show. Her name is Miss Jefferson, known as Miss AKA D, who has been working with children for the past 20 years, and she's found herself to be very effective communicator. And I want you, Miss Jefferson, to tell me a little bit about what made you get into the line of this work that you do for the past. I'll let you explain.
Well, it all started from when I was very young. My mom always told me I was a nurturing type of person. She would always find me in a corner talking to an elderly person, hearing their stories, and just having an interest. So I guess that's where the nurturing part came from. Mm-hmm. And then I just, as I got older and wanted to figure out what I wanted to do, I knew it had something to do with children, only because of my personality, which is very outgoing and very silly. And so I went and I worked as a teacher's aide. The head teacher at the time, she saw my desire for working with children, and she was moving out of town. I'll never forget her, Miss Tina. Hi, Tina, if you're listening. She moved out of town, and she asked the director, she recommended the director for me to be the lead teacher. Mm-hmm. And that was the start of everything. I worked for that school for about 2 years, and then I decided to open up my own daycare from my own home. Moving fast forward, I've been licensed in PG County, Baltimore County, and I've taught at a really good preschool for several years. Now I'm to the point where I want to tell my story. I want to tell my story in a way where I'm still giving myself to children and giving myself back to the parents through my show or through the different techniques and tools that I can give them. Maybe they can use some of the things I use to help them out, because we all need help.
Well, you have one too that I've heard about and I've read about, painting. You got into painting and you found it as a way to be able to help children and to find it a way for them to be effective communicators. Please explain a little bit about the painting and what that details.
Well, painting is a way of self-expression. That's for everyone. And for children, they don't really have a voice. They don't know how to tell us exactly how they're feeling in the way that we would understand. So we provide them with tools to help them self-express. And painting is one of them.
Okay.
We're all artists. We're born artists. And we don't even know it.
Okay.
So painting is a way of self-expression for children. And it's also a way you can build up a relationship and a way you can find out what they're thinking through their painting or their creativity.
That's good. So you've been doing this how long?
I've been doing this for over 20 plus years.
And I know you, I think I also heard that you have a group of children that you have worked with that are now adults and doing some amazing things in their lives. And one of the things that you said that you used was painting. So can you remember some of the kids that you actually work with, and what are some of the things that they're doing?
Wow. My kids
Just
now
maybe
are...
a couple of them.
Okay, I won't particularly name names, but what I would do is the name of my place, my business was Shapes Child Caring, and this was over 20 plus years. So if anybody has attended Shapes Child Caring, where are you now? Miss D would like to hear from you. I would like to see if you have children of your own. I'm still around. We build a relationship. I think about you all the time. Actually, these 2 gold bracelets I have on my arm, one of my parents went to Jamaica and came back and bought me this.
Great,
So
great,
I
great.
still, and this was 20 plus years ago. So if you have attended Shapes Child Caring, you know who you are.
So fast and forward, I want you to tell the guests a little bit about yourself, some of the things that you got going on, some of the things that you got coming up at the end of this month. I believe you have something that's coming up for children that will help them, and so you can tell my guests a little bit about that.
Okay, well, everyone has their own story to tell. If you notice, there's a sign in front that says you hold the pen to your own story. It's your story. You own it. So I have a story, a true story, and it's my story. And that part of my life has brought so much joy to me that I want to share my story. I want to share my story through my show and through my platform. So it's a very my concept is silly and simple. Silly and simple. Silly, simple. That's me.
Okay.
And that's how I relate to children, through my silly and simple concept ways. So it's all created around through creations of art that I created myself through my own emotional struggles and challenges that I deal with life. That's how I deal with my emotions. I paint abstract painting, and I just paint and be creative. And I create that world around me, and I bring it to my platform for the children to enjoy.
So how could my guests get in touch with you if they want to know more information about your platform? I also want you to tell me a little bit about the event that you got coming up at the end of this month as well. But please tell them your information, how to get in contact with you, and everything like that.
Okay, you can first start off with emailing me at D, that's the letter D, story for kids with a Z at the end, at gmail.com. That's the first thing you can do. And what I'm doing for October 31st is I'm having what I'm calling a Zoom Room Peekaboo party.
Sounds great.
Okay, and that's a fall fun party. So if you don't want to go trick-or-treating or that it's a young age, 2 to 5 years old. They're very young, so you might want them in the house. You might not want them going trick-or-treating, or you do. You can do it afterwards. But I'm going to have a virtual party with some of my little friends, and we're just going to have fun. And it's going to be silly, and it's going to be simple. It's going to be filled with dancing, because I think movement is very important,
So dealing with that, we have a lot of children, and we have children that are having children. So as you being a provider and a communicator to help these actual little ones, do you have something to actually help the parents to be more effective? I know that you help the children, but you can't be there with them 24 hours. So what advice or what tools besides painting would you give to them to help them with their children at their age?
What I want parents to remember, I know life has a lot of challenges, and we're living in some really hard times. So sometimes parents, through their own struggles, really don't know that it's something simple you can do, even to limit the stress. Make sure you keep your child busy. You can't leave a child doing nothing. They need to be busy. They need to be interacting with something. Play-Doh. Play-Doh goes a long way. I mean, there's so much you can do with Play-Doh, and you can just keep adding on to these particular things. They need to move around. Have a space where they can run. They can jump. They can do things. If you see that a child is struggling with a little bit of issues with anger or trying to release that stress, punching bags. You can make a punching bag. You can go to the store and you can get a beach ball, or something along that line. You can tie it with some net. You can attach a string to it and put it in between your doorway at the child's level and just let them punch on it. You know, we're constantly telling them, no, it's not good to feel this way, or don't punch. No, they can punch.
We're getting ready to take a break now.
Oh.
We will come back and conclude our show with Miss AKA Evolving and where she's going.
Miss D.
It started with a question. Who do I want to be? The answer isn't as simple as you may think. I want to be more. No. I need to be. So listen. Pay attention. Focus. I'm a move maker.
And welcome back to the David Robinson Real Talk, Real People, Real Conversations. Well, I want to wrap things up this afternoon with Miss KAAKD and let her tell you about the things that she's doing right now in the present and where she's going with her new business.
Okay. Well, what I like to provide for parents is story time fun. I will read your child a bedtime story. Okay? And I touch on every topic there is that's important to children. So not only am I going to have my Zoom room peekaboo party, I will also be doing virtual story time. And this is one of the books that I will be reading. It's called Black is a Rainbow Color. Okay, and this is about self-confidence and self-building for an African-American child, and really all children, to be proud of themselves and their culture and their race. And this is another book that I will be reading called I'm Every Good Thing. I'll be reading these two books in one of my story time. So that's what I do. I provide a space where a parent can take a break, let the children tune into me. We engage and we build a relationship together, and I just want children to grow, and I just want to build children to understand that they can build relationships not only with their peers but also with an adult that understands.
So tell my guest the name of your business again, your contact information, and your email, and how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, it's Cozy Corner Creative Child Caring, but my story is D Story for Kids. My email address is D Story for Kids, and that's with a Z at the end.
Thank you. And once again, as I conclude, I just want to say I do thank you for coming on, and I wish you all the success. And for those out there who are parents and got little ones, there are many avenues, but the most effective thing is being able to communicate, because communication is the key to everything, even in relationships, even as adults. If you don't have communication, you don't have anything. So just thank you for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you for having me. And remember, keep it silly and simple. Silly, simple.
And thank you. And once again, thank you for watching the David Robinson Real Talk, Real People, Real Conversations.
Bye.
It started with a question. Who do I want to be? answer isn't as simple as you may think. I want to be more. No. I need to be. So listen. Pay attention. Focus. I'm a move maker.
Like I told